Welcome, brothers. Welcome to a new Bible study. And today it's a beautiful and encouraging verse. Yeah, and it's a verse from the heart of Paul. You just read it. You feel it. Let's continue. Second Timothy chapter 1 verse 12. That is why I'm suffering as I am. Yet I am not ashamed, because I know whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is able to guard what I have entrusted to him for that day. In this verse, Paul acknowledges that his suffering stems from spreading the gospel as a herald, a preacher, an apostle, and a teacher. Yet he remains steadfast in his faith, knowing that he believes in the one true and living God, who will safeguard his life before the judgment seat of God on that fateful day. And second, Paul's suffering under persecution was due to his work as a preacher, apostle, and teacher. First, his opposition came from the Jews, who rejected the gospel and sought to thwart its spread. Second, Paul faced great opposition from unbelieving Gentiles that rejected the gospel because his introduction of a new religion that confronted their idolatry and superstition. Yet, he was not ashamed. Paul provides two reasons to explain why he was not reluctant to suffer for Christ. The first reason, he could suffer for the sake of Jesus because he knew Jesus, and Jesus' suffering gave Paul power to endure all things. And the second reason, Paul said he was not ashamed to suffer because he trusted Christ to be his foundation and not his own efforts. And although there are many differing views about what Paul is referring to when he says that Christ is able to guard what I have entrusted to him for that day, we believe that Paul is referring to Judgment Day, where Jesus serves as our most excellent advocate before God to save our lives for eternity. And if you have a different view, hey, feel free to share that in the comments. I'm curious about that. Brothers, we know our enemy is alive and well and takes every opportunity to harass and attack us believers. We should expect it and recognize such attacks and subsequent suffering. The question we will have to ask ourselves: will we remain steadfast like Paul or collapse under the pressure? When times get tough and we suffer, does Jesus serve as our inspiration and master to guide us out of our troubles? Or do we insist in taking the reins of our lives and trying to resolve things on our own? The answer to these two questions reveals a lot about our faith walk with Christ, as it focuses on the fundamental question of who will be our advocate before God's throne on Judgment Day. And guys, I have to admit, we cannot do it on our own. Just let it in the hand of Jesus. May God bless you all.